Hey guys, Baron here, and I am going to be showing you a highlight of myself playing some of the reserve level Japanese aircraft. Now, first and foremost, when you are playing in the reserves, I am in the United States and on the East Coast, so for us, currently, the only two servers are the European and Russian servers. So if you play when there's less activity, you will get paired with higher aircraft. So be aware of that. Now, this is also a shout out to say that if there's enough feedback, enough likes, and enough, kind of views on this video in particular, I will make I'll make a little series on how to get out of the reserve aircraft for each of the nations. Kind of go over the different planes, their armaments, what they should be good at, what each nation's advantages and disadvantages are, especially in the reserve tier. So if you like this series, or if you want to see that, let me know, like up the video, and I'll make it happen. So, some general tips right there. That was a free hit. Yeah, he was going down, and look at that. I got lucky enough to get an assist. If someone is within your range and he's grayed out and there's no immediate danger, take a shot. Take a few shots. Get your free hits, get your free experience, and you may even on occasion get lucky enough to get a kill assist, which will be worth. Another thing is the Russians. Anything that says I-15, don't go head-to-head with it because it has more machine guns than you. Lead your targets, fire in bursts, kill a target, pick the next one. If someone's on your tail, fly into a mess of things, especially if they're not facing you. A lot of times your friends may pick off the guy on your tail, or he may get distracted with other targets, or they may even crash into things. The next thing is, after you get a target, pick the next one. Don't try to maneuver. Don't get fixated on one and then try to maneuver and end up wasting time. If there's someone else within your, view, take them out. And if you know you're going down, your engine's black, get a few last shots. Get as many points as you can. So I was trying to not die in that one, and I almost did it and become an ace. Ace is 5 kills, and I was at 4. Quite a shame. If you see someone landing on an airfield, it's either an easy kill or at the very least some nice easy points. So that was pretty easy, and you may not get the kill, but you may get an assist, and at the very least you should get some hits on them, which is free experience. Now, when picking your target, you kind of want to look around and see which one is the closest one and get an idea of where they're heading. If they're heading in towards an airfield to try to take it, or if they're heading in towards one of your friendly aircraft, it's a good target because he's not fixated on you and you can get up behind him. Now, here's a pretty decent example of that. Now, when firing your guns, you want to use bursts. You don't want to hold it down, because the more you hold it down, the more you're likely to overheat and jam your gun. So keep that in mind. And then be aware of friendly aircraft and try to avoid crashing into them. You kind of want to have a good idea on, where your friends are and where the enemies are, because there's nothing worse than being so fixated on a target that you crash into a friendly or even shoot them down, because that is negative points. Now, once you've reloaded, you've been able to stay on their 6, keep peppering them full of lead, and then pick the next target. Just keep shooting, keep slugging it out. Lead the target, take them down, move on to the next one. Now, if you're going head-to-head with someone, pull up. If you pull up too late, you're gonna crash. And especially if you shoot the guy down and he's grayed out, you need to get out of there because he won't be able to steer and he's not gonna pull out. Watch out for friendly fire. Make sure not to crash. Now keep in mind the biplanes are exceptionally maneuverable. They're so maneuverable. They're the most maneuverable planes in the game. You can do last minute little twirls, especially in arcade mode. And when it comes to arcade mode and reserve planes, I play mouse and keyboard. I play simplified. It's a lot easier than the other game modes to kind of get a feel for and get into it quickly. So remember to lead the targets and aim for that little gray circle. That's where you want to hit. It's pretty helpful to that's there, and that's only in arcade mode. It's not in historical battles or full real battles. And be aware of the throttle controls. That helps a lot. Holding down shift, if you look in the top left, that WEP red, it means you're boosting and you're adding a little bit of fuel. Throttle control is one of the key things you can learn about this game. If you can control it, speed up, slow down, it enables you to stay on the enemy for longer periods of time. So that is very helpful. So if you right click after your target on someone, you can zoom in. That helps you get a feel of where they're looking, where they're targeting. And if you realize they're not targeting you or are friendly in the area, help the friends out if you can. It's worth it in experience too. If you get a fighter rescuer or bomber rescuer, it's free experience for shooting down a target you otherwise would have gone for anyway. So the more you help your team, the more points you'll get. Now make sure not to shoot at friendlies. Wait till you have a clean shot. Lead your target as much as possible. Keep peppering them as much as you can. Missed the free points right there. Everyone's dropping out of the sky. Biplanes and the reserve aircraft, I know it's a race to get out. Everyone wants the jet aircraft, but looking back, the biplanes, the reserve aircraft are some of the most fun and kind of carefree games when you come back later. They're so maneuverable. Everyone's just in this giant bee swarm of a dogfight. And lead the target, pepper them, watch out for your friend's fire, don't fly right into it like I did right there. It wasn't too bad there. It wasn't too much of a punishment, but sometimes you can get killed by your friends. Now, critical hits. Every time you hear that ding, look to the right of the screen. If you see that their tail's out, or their rudder, or elevator, or anything like that, they're likely to crash, so you can focus on the other enemy targets. Watch out for the ground-based anti-aircraft guns. They'll get you. In the most recent update, they have been revamped. So try to stick around and do maneuvers you're familiar with. Don't do anything you're not familiar with or that is too risky given your altitude, or you'll crash into the ground. So this video is coming to a wrap. That last aircraft is up. So once again, this is a reminder that if you need help in getting out of the reserve aircraft, and for any nation in particular, the more feedback I get on this video, the more likely I am to make nation-specific guides on the aircraft, what to do, you know, how to get out of the reserves and get those level 1s and those level 2s. And I'll even do it without premium accounts. I'll make a new account just to kind of get a feel. Victory backflip.
We've won. Great work, man.
So that was a good 10 kills, and I forget how much it is. I think it may be 6,000 points you need to get out of the reserves. And we got 2,000 some odd points, and you'll notice that aircraft is worth so much more. An aircraft kill is so much more than a ground kill. This guy had one less aircraft kill and more ground kills, and I was still able to outscore him. And granted, that may have a lot of other effects, like I may have gotten a lot of kills, but there you go. That shows you how to do. Those are some basic tips. Now, give me some feedback and we'll see where we go from here with reserve aircraft. Once again, thanks for watching. If you want to see specific guides for each nation to go over the reserve aircraft and how to get out of the reserve and level 0 tier to get up and start opening up new planes, I will be happy to do so. I'm looking at around, I feel like to make it worth it, because it would be some considerable time to do for each nation. Feel free to comment in the video and I'll see which nation is liked up the most, and I'll do that one first and we'll go from there. But I'm looking at about, I think 50 likes is pretty reasonable. So if you want to see this, share it with your friends. If you have new friends who are looking how to get out of reserves, they want the tips, they want some basic maneuvering skills and just kind of an understanding of each of the aircraft for each nation, let me know. And if the video gets enough likes and gets enough feedback, I will do a series for each country on the reserve aircraft. So once again, thanks for watching, and if you want to make this happen, just make sure to spread the word and like up the video, and we'll see what happens from there. Thanks, guys.